Hello there, I hope you had a good Gandhi Jayanti and welcome to this video. So October 2nd is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti, commemorating the birthday of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, also known as the father of our nation. Side note, I was reading up on why Gandhiji was called the father of our nation, and turns out he is actually not the father of our nation officially. He has never been conferred the title father of the nation. So here is just another thing that we were lied about in school. This video is off to a great start. So it was Subhash Chandra Bose who gave Gandhiji the title father of our nation in his radio broadcast in July 6, 1994. And I think that radio broadcasts are yesterday's podcasts, or podcasts are today's radio broadcasts. Anyway, the reasons behind Subhash Chandra Bose terming Gandhiji as the father of the nation remains unclear. But we all know of Gandhiji's contribution to building of our nation and especially the freedom struggle. He returned from South Africa on the behest of Gopal Krishna Gokhale to control of Indian National Congress, which was the only source of authority for Indians at the time. And he used it to put considerable strain on the British Raj. Most people, or at least a lot of people, say that Gandhiji brought us the freedom that we enjoy today. That this nation stands upon the shoulders of this great man, or Mahatma. But I don't agree with that. Yes, he carried out 3 or 4 separate movements against British. The Swadeshi movement, the non-cooperation movement, the civil disobedience movement, and the Quit India movement. But it's not a coincidence that 3 dozen countries in Asia and Africa gained independence in the decade that we got independence, and only we had Gandhiji. This doesn't mean that our freedom struggle was unsuccessful, but if British was caused to leave India because of our undying struggle for freedom, then it's a collective effort, not one man's legacy. Wouldn't you agree with that? We have been taught a very glorified history of our freedom fight, one in which some leaders were given much more prominence than the others. So, to have a fair understanding of our history, we may need to remove all the embellishments that some leaders have been given. So in this video, let's look at what Gandhiji's role actually was in the history of India, or Bharat as a nation. Of course, I would love to hear your opinions on the subject, so please don't hesitate to share them below. As we know, he certainly ramped up the Indian National Congress and made it the voice of educated Indians at that time. Our freedom fighters found it a legitimate place to voice their demands and raise concerns about the British Raj. And for the longest time, unfortunately, the INSA's demand was dominion status and not absolute freedom. But Gandhiji was also able to get into the hearts of the common people. He was such a leader who could make the masses follow him. Almost all the future citizens of free India was willing to stand under his leadership, even if it meant getting beaten up on the streets without any protection or self-defense. Now that is one hell of a leadership. Satyagraha meant truth force, or love force, or soul force. It is the pursuit of truth that did not involve violence being inflicted on one's opponent, but that he must be weaned from error by compassion and patience. And patience means self-suffering. So the doctrine came to mean vindication of truth, not by infliction of suffering on the opponent, but on oneself. And without ahimsa, it is not possible to seek and find truth. Ahimsa and truth are so intertwined that it is impractical to disentangle and separate them. Ahimsa is the means, truth is the end. Means to be means must always be within our reach, and so ahimsa is our supreme duty. This was Gandhiji's idea of freedom struggle. The Satyagrahi's object is to convert, not coerce the wrongdoer. The opponent must be converted, at least as far as to stop obstructing the just end. It was this kind of a practice that Gandhiji advocated all of Indians or all of humanity to practice in order to get to their just goals. Now, Satyagraha and Ahimsa are heavily reliant on yogic philosophy and the Hindu, Buddha and Jaina traditions in this land. And maybe that is the reason why it was so successful in the subcontinent, because the people already knew about Sri Rama, Sri Krishna and Sri Buddha, and therefore it resonated with the masses. Why does it matter? Because these movements, be it Swadeshi or Satyagraha movements, saved the spirit of Bharat, the rich, inclusive spiritual heart of this land. And that could be why, number one, crores of Indians stood behind him and all leaders supported him no matter what. And second, we did not lose our spiritual, inclusive traditions, lose to English education, world wars and modernization. Now, if you have seen my older videos, you know that I honestly believe that the idea of communal harmony put forward by Gandhiji was a failure. Speaking of which, you have heard this song, I'm sure. So, how did Allah came in this song? Do you know how the actual line is? These are the things that makes me so angry. But the Congress did introduce the idea of communal harmony, and they supported a secular India, not a religious India. They did that by pressuring Hindus to bow down and accept a violent minority. Secularism was imposed upon Hindus, and we were and we still are shamed for being proud of our traditions and our scriptures. But, well, Gandhiji gave up his life to keep this nation intact. So, I guess that's not something we can gloss over. So, I have made a video on partition with a special focus on the Bengal side of partition, which we rarely talk about. So, please go and check out that video in which I extensively talk about Gandhiji's role in partition. Coming back, we as a nation had many more communal violences and massacres and death in the name of religion. And whenever we do speak of communal harmony, we speak of Gandhiji. And I'm sure that we all want communal harmony in this nation. So I think it's worthwhile to remember Gandhiji's contribution for that. I wholeheartedly disagree with Satyagraha and the idea of ahimsa in the political front. I also disagree with the statement that as the means, so the end, or violence as a means ruins the sanctity of the goal in politics. We know that Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has said that violence is okay for dharma. Of course, I am not advocating violence over here, obviously. Just saying that presenting non-violence to Jews as a remedy against the wrong done to them, to say to Jewish people to be prepared for voluntary suffering, and to ask Indian Hindus to forgive and stand with their tormentors. All these things are probably not a good idea. But pointing out the significance, not the whitewashed glorious one of this man on such an occasion is not a terrible idea. We need a fair representation of the yesteryear politicians who shaped this nation. And let's take this occasion to do that, starting with Gandhiji. And I hope you found something worthwhile in this video. If you did, hit the like button, share this video with somebody else, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you and have a great time. Hi guys, and here is the first book I have written, Life in a Ziploc Bag. It's the story of 4 teens living in a city and the impactful reality of modern life, where we often chase love, intoxication and adventure. Does it seem like a story that you would be interested in? If so, please check it out on Amazon or Flipkart. And it's also available for direct buying from the publisher itself. All these links are given in the description. Grab your copy now. Thank you.